My ex posted our private moments online for Clout, so I reported everything. Sued for defamation, and she lost her followers, sponsors, and rent payments overnight. I'm a 28-year-old guy. I've always been the type who prefers staying behind the camera, not in front of it. I like quiet mornings, slow conversations, and privacy, things that don't exactly thrive in today's post-everything world. But when I met Chloe, all of that changed. She was magnetic, the kind of person who could walk into a cafe and make everyone turn their heads. Her laugh was loud, her confidence infectious, and her phone, always in her hand. I didn't mind at first. She was a social media influencer, after all. That was her world. She'd film every brunch, every sunset, every cute couple moment we had, and I went along with it. I told myself this is how she expresses herself. One night, while I was cooking dinner, she propped her phone up and said, "Babe, say something funny for the vlog." I laughed awkwardly, fumbling with the spatula, and she beamed at me through the screen. Later, when I saw the clip online, thousands of people commenting on how adorable we were, I felt weirdly exposed. My private life had a comment section. Still, I convinced myself it was harmless. Love meant compromise, right? She was ambitious, creative, and driven. And if filming our date nights helped her dream, I could handle it, but slowly. I noticed something. Her eyes didn't light up when she looked at me anymore. They lit up when the camera did. Every moment felt like content. Every emotion like a performance. I remember one evening she told me, "Babe, we're perfect for each other. You keep me grounded. I make you visible." I smiled, but inside, something twisted. Because deep down, I already knew love built on followers doesn't last long once the Wi-Fi goes out. And in my case, it would go out in the worst possible way. It didn't happen all at once. It was slow, like a hairline fracture that deepened every time she hit record. At first, I thought the distance was just stress. Chloe had started getting sponsorship deals, brand invites, and even PR trips. I was proud of her, genuinely. But somewhere between her chasing algorithms and me chasing moments of silence, we started living two different realities, hers, perfectly filtered. Mine, quietly suffocating. One night, she asked me to fake a breakup prank for her YouTube channel. "It'll be hilarious," she said, eyes glowing with that influencer energy that always won. I hesitated. "Chloe, I don't want people thinking we're actually breaking up." She sighed dramatically. "It's just for fun. Everyone knows it's fake." But when the video went live, the comments weren't laughing. They were calling me emotionally unavailable, boring, and a red flag. She brushed it off, saying, "It's just engagement, babe. Don't take it personally." I tried to, but it was personal. The person she was online, confident, witty, untouchable, wasn't the girl I came home to. Off camera, she was tired, short-tempered, and distant. I'd find her scrolling through her own comments late into the night, refreshing every few seconds. Sometimes she'd whisper, "Why is this one not performing well?" Like the numbers defined her worth. I wanted to help, but every time I tried, she'd snap. "You don't understand what it takes to stay relevant." So maybe I didn't, but I understood what it felt like to slowly lose someone to a screen. The last time we went out together, she didn't look at me once. She was too busy making sure the lighting hit her face just right. And as I watched her pose for strangers online, I realized something brutal. The woman I loved only existed in pixels. The real Chloe was slipping further away, and she didn't even notice. The more her following grew, the less she seemed like the woman I fell for. Chloe hit 500,000 followers in just a few months, and with every milestone, a little more of her humanity vanished behind filters and sponsorship codes. She started referring to herself as a brand, not a person, and somewhere along the way, stopped being a couple and became a marketing strategy. I'd hear her rehearsing lines in the mirror. "Hey guys, today's video is super emotional," only to see her immediately switch into a cold, business-like tone once the camera was off. I remember once asking, "Do you ever get tired of pretending?" She looked at me like I was speaking a different language. "This isn't pretending. It's storytelling," she said, smiling tightly. But the stories got darker. One day, I came across a video she posted titled, "My boyfriend doesn't support me anymore." My stomach dropped. In it, she painted me as distant, jealous, controlling, cherry-picking arguments, cutting audio clips to make herself look like a victim. I felt violated. That wasn't content. That was our life twisted and sold for clicks. I confronted her that night. "You turned our fights into entertainment," I said. Her eyes didn't flinch. "It's what people want. They love honesty." Honesty. I snapped. That wasn't honesty. That was manipulation. She rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting. It's just social media. Just social media." The words echoed in my head as I watched her dance in front of the ring light later that night, tears dried, smile perfected. She didn't even notice me leave the room. And that's when I realized I wasn't losing her to fame. I'd already lost her to something far worse. Validation had replaced love. And I was the collateral damage. It happened on an ordinary Tuesday, the kind of day you'd never expect your life to implode. We'd had a small argument the night before. Nothing dramatic, just me asking her not to record during dinner. She rolled her eyes, muttered something about controlling vibes, and locked herself in her office. I went to bed frustrated, but hopeful we'd talk it out in the morning. Instead, I woke to chaos. My phone was vibrating nonstop texts, calls, notifications. When I opened my social apps, I froze. Chloe had uploaded a 30-minute video titled, "The Truth About My Relationship." The thumbnail was her crying. My name was in the title. The first few seconds were bad enough, her teary face, soft music, shaky voice, but then she started sharing details. Things I'd only told her in confidence. My anxiety, my family issues, even clips of me from private moments in our apartment. She edited it all together like a movie. Her as the hero, me as the villain. My chest tightened as I scrolled through the comments. "Oh my God, you deserve better. He sounds toxic. Can't believe he gaslit you like that." Every word was a dagger. I called her immediately. "Chloe, what the hell did you just post?" I demanded. She sounded calm, almost proud. "I just told my truth. People need to see the real you, the real me. You edited me into a monster." She paused, then said coldly, "Maybe now you'll understand what it's like to have your voice ignored." And then she hung up. That night, I sat alone in the dark, watching strangers dissect my life in the comments section, every rumor, every insult. Every lie gaining thousands of likes, and for the first time in my life, I understood what it meant to be canceled for a story you didn't even tell. But I wasn't going to stay silent for long. The next few days were hell, not just emotionally, but publicly. My name was trending in her fan communities. Strangers were dissecting my facial expressions from clips, claiming I showed classic narcissist traits. I'd open my DMs and see hundreds of messages, most of them hate. "You don't deserve her. We always knew you were jealous," one even said. "Hope you lose everything like you made her lose her smile." I tried to keep my head down, but it followed me offline. A coworker pulled me aside and asked awkwardly, "Hey, is that video about you?" My stomach sank. The HR manager later asked if I was creating a hostile environment. That's when I realized her story wasn't just viral. It was destroying my reputation in real life. I called her again. "Take it down, Chloe. Please. You've said enough." She sighed dramatically. "I can't. It's already out there. Plus, it's doing really well. It's over 1 million views. You're monetizing my humiliation?" "It's not about money. It's about awareness," she said, using that same soft influencer tone that made me want to scream. "People relate to my story. Your story is built on lies." She went quiet for a moment, then said, "You should have treated me better if you didn't want people to know." And just like that, she hung up. That sentence haunted me all night. I sat staring at my reflection, wondering how love had turned into this, a public trial with no defense. I thought about responding, maybe posting my own video, but something in me refused. I didn't want to fight fire with fire. Still, as I scrolled through the endless hate, one thing became clear. This wasn't just a breakup anymore. This was war. And I had no idea how ugly it was about to get. A few days later, I got a message from a friend. Just one line and a link. "Bro, is this you?" I clicked it, expecting another reaction video or gossip thread. But what I saw made my entire body go numb. It was a paid exclusive video Chloe had uploaded on a private content platform, footage from our most intimate moments. Blurred, but unmistakably us. My hands started shaking. The caption read, "The full truth they didn't see." My heart pounded so hard I could barely breathe. That wasn't just betrayal. It was humiliation on a level I couldn't process. She had taken moments of trust, love, and privacy, and turned them into content for strangers to consume. I called her immediately, my voice trembling with rage. "You posted our private videos?" She didn't even sound sorry. "Relax. It's just behind a paywall. No one knows it's you, Chloe. I can see myself. My face is in it." She laughed an empty, mechanical laugh. "Then maybe you should have smiled more. It would have done better." That was the moment something inside me broke. The fear, the guilt, the hesitation, all of it burned away, replaced by a cold, quiet fury. "You think this is a game?" I said through clenched teeth. Her tone turned sharp. "Don't threaten me. You'll only make yourself look worse. Everyone's on my side, remember?" And she was right for now. Her followers worshipped her. Every word she said became truth. Every lie became entertainment. But as I sat there staring at the screen, something shifted in me. I realized arguing with her was pointless. The court of public opinion was hers, but the law? That was mine. So I took a deep breath, wiped my tears, and whispered to myself, "You want exposure, Chloe? Let's see how you handle the real kind." The game had just changed, and this time I was done playing nice. I didn't post anything. I didn't rant. Didn't make a video. Didn't defend myself online. I went silent completely. People took my silence as guilt, but that was fine. Because while the internet was busy playing judge and jury, I was building a case. I started documenting everything, screenshots of her videos, timestamps, audio files, and private messages. A close friend who worked in cybersecurity helped me track metadata from her uploads. The evidence was overwhelming. Every clip she shared came from our shared drive, meaning she had no legal right to post it without my consent. Next, I met with a lawyer. He was calm, methodical, the opposite of my shaking hands and sleepless eyes. After I explained everything, he leaned back and said, "This isn't just defamation. It's invasion of privacy and possibly distribution of intimate material without consent." The words hit me like a wave. For the first time, someone wasn't telling me to just move on. We drafted a legal notice, sent cease and desist letters, and began collecting proof of her monetization, her affiliate links, sponsorships, and paywall transactions. Every dollar she made from those videos strengthened my case. I wasn't just a victim anymore. I was preparing to fight back, legally, quietly, and efficiently. Meanwhile, Chloe kept posting, oblivious. She uploaded teary clips about emotional trauma and healing after manipulation, soaking in sympathy from millions. Her fan base turned every lie into gospel, her tears into weaponized pity. But behind the scenes, my lawyer and I were building something she couldn't out-edit or delete. It's a wall of truth with receipts she couldn't erase. The night before filing, I watched one of her new videos, her wearing my old hoodie, pretending to reclaim her strength. The irony almost made me laugh, because by the time that video hit 1 million views, I'd already hit her with a lawsuit. The morning we filed, I felt something I hadn't felt in months: control. My lawyer submitted a formal complaint for defamation, invasion of privacy, and unlawful distribution of private material. The paperwork alone was heavy enough to crush her entire truth. We sent her an official CSANDS letter. For a while, there was silence. Then, a few hours later, Chloe posted a smirking Instagram story with the caption, "Some people can't handle being exposed." The comments flooded in, cheering her on like she was the underdog hero in a movie. But the next day, her tone changed. Her manager contacted me, not her, panicked and demanding to clarify misunderstandings. I told them the truth was already on paper, stamped by the court. They went quiet after that. Within a week, her sponsors started backing out. The brands didn't want legal drama attached to their image. One partnership publicly announced they were reevaluating influencer collaborations. Due to recent allegations, I didn't have to say a word. Her empire was starting to crumble on its own. Then came the shocker. An email from her PR agent begging to settle this privately. Apparently, the moment the summons hit her doorstep, she realized this wasn't a YouTube feud. It was real and costly. I remember sitting across from my lawyer as he slid a folder toward me. Inside were screenshots of her private platform earnings. Thousands of dollars made off the videos featuring me. "This is enough to sink her," he said. I just nodded. I didn't want revenge anymore. I wanted accountability. Still, watching her confidence crack online was satisfying every day. Her follower count dropped by thousands. Her healing journey hashtags started looking like epitaphs. And yet, part of me knew this wasn't the end. Because people, like Chloe, don't stop when they're caught. They stop when there's nothing left to lose. It started like a slow leak. One sponsorship gone, then another, then another. Within 2 weeks, Chloe's world was collapsing in real time, and for once, it wasn't scripted. Her followers noticed first. "Why are your videos disappearing?" one asked. "Where's your boyfriend's side of the story?" Another commented, "She tried to hold her image together with shaky update videos." In one, she sat in front of a plain white wall, no makeup, red eyes, and said, "I'm just going through a lot right now. People are twisting things." But this time, her audience didn't buy it. The top comment read, "So the lawsuit rumors are true?" The replies were brutal, people dissecting her lies, pointing out inconsistencies in her past posts. The internet that once worshipped her now smelled blood. She deleted that video within hours, but the damage was done. Screenshots spread like wildfire, and soon, influencer drama channels picked up the story. One headline read, "Influencer exposed for exploiting ex-boyfriend's trauma for clout." Another leaked documents from the lawsuit. I didn't post a single thing, not even a statement. My silence became louder than her apologies. Reporters reached out asking for interviews, but I refused. I wanted facts to speak louder than the noise. Then, the big break came. A well-known brand confirmed it had terminated her contract due to ongoing legal disputes and ethical concerns. Ain't that announcement alone cost her thousands in monthly income and her reputation? I should have felt vindicated, but watching her live stream's eyes hollow, voice trembling, I felt something else. Disbelief. How could someone who once claimed to love me have thrown it all away for temporary applause? Still, that sympathy didn't last long. Because soon, she'd do something so reckless, so desperate. It would make me realize she hadn't hit rock bottom yet. It happened late one night. It's the kind of night when everything's quiet enough to hear your own heartbeat. I was sitting at my desk, half asleep, when my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. It was Chloe. The first text read, "Please, I need to talk." Then another, "You've ruined my life." Then a voice message. I hesitated before playing it, but curiosity won. Her voice cracked through the speaker, shaking, desperate. "You took everything from me," she said. "My sponsors, my apartment. I can't even pay rent. Do you really think you're the victim here?" There was a long pause before she added, "If you drop the case, I'll take everything down. I'll even apologize publicly. Just, please." For a moment, I almost pitied her. Almost. But then, hours later, another message came, this time not pleading, but threatening. "If you don't withdraw the lawsuit, I'll release the rest. Don't test me." My chest went cold. The rest? She still had more videos, more private footage, more leverage she thought she could use against me. That was the moment any remaining sympathy evaporated. She wasn't remorseful, she was cornered. And cornered people get dangerous. I called my lawyer immediately. He listened silently, then said, "Good. Keep those messages. They're evidence of coercion." His calm tone steadied me. This wasn't just about personal pain anymore, it was about principle, meanwhile. Her social media presence continued to unravel. Fans were abandoning her, Gossip pages mocked her redemption arc, and former collaborators publicly cut ties. But I didn't celebrate. I just felt tired, exhausted by how far she was willing to sink to stay relevant. That night, as I lay awake, my phone still glowing from her threats, I realized something. Chloe hadn't just lost followers. She'd lost her humanity. And soon, she was about to lose everything else too, legally, publicly, and permanently. The day of the hearing felt surreal, quiet, sterile, and heavy with tension. I remember sitting in that courtroom, the faint hum of the air conditioner cutting through the silence. Chloe was already there when I walked in, dressed in neutral tones, her makeup minimal, like she wanted to appear fragile. But when our eyes met, she looked away instantly. No apology, no remorse. My lawyer started with precision. He laid out everything, screenshots of her videos, timestamps proving my likeness was used without consent, and records of her earnings from the exclusive uploads. Each exhibit landed like a stone. Chloe's lawyer tried to argue it was creative expression, that she'd blurred my face, but the evidence spoke louder. Even her own DIMs betrayed her, the ones where she'd taunted me with, "You can't prove anything." When my lawyer played one of the private clips in court muted, just a few seconds long, Chloe's composure cracked. She started whispering to her lawyer, eyes wide, lip trembling. For the first time, I saw fear instead of arrogance. The judge didn't take long. He ruled in my favor on every count: defamation, invasion of privacy, and unauthorized distribution. Chloe was ordered to remove all related content, issue a formal apology, and pay damages. As the verdict was read, she broke down, covering her face with her hands. But I didn't smile. I just felt done. The victory wasn't sweet. It was sobering. Years of love and trust had come to this, two signatures on opposite sides of a courtroom. As I left, Chloe called out softly, "You destroyed me." I turned once, looked at her and said, "No, Chloe, you filmed your own destruction." And with that, I walked out, not as her victim, but as the man who finally reclaimed his story. What she called content, the world now called evidence. It's been 8 months since that day in court, and I've learned that peace doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it's just the quiet hum of life returning to normal. The internet moved on, as it always does. The drama that once consumed people's timelines became yesterday's entertainment. Chloe's accounts went dark, her sponsorship links broken, her videos wiped clean by court order, every trace of her digital empire gone. Occasionally, someone online asks, "Whatever happened to that influencer?" But most don't even remember her name. That's the cruel poetry of fame. It forgets you as quickly as it crowns you. As for me, I deleted all my social media. I started therapy, found a new apartment across town, and began writing again. Not for likes, but for clarity. Some nights I still catch myself replaying her voice in my head, wondering how someone could love you one day and exploit you the next. But then I remind myself her validation was borrowed, her downfall was self-inflicted. One evening, a lawyer called to tell me the final payment from the settlement had cleared. "You did the right thing," he said. I didn't answer right away. I just stared at the sunlight spilling across my desk and whispered, "I know." Because it was never about money. It was about taking back the dignity she tried to edit out of me now. When people ask if I hate her, I tell them no. Hate would mean she still has space in my life. She doesn't. I've learned that real closure doesn't need to go viral. It lives in silence, in the space where her noise used to be. She used me for views. I used the truth to end her show, and that, finally, was the most viral piece I've ever known.